KATU's Weather on the Hour is brought to you by Teplic Laser Surgery Centers. Your vision for the future.
On World News Tonight this Wednesday, the first information from the flight data recorder on Egyptair 990. It adds to the mystery. Washington at work, the drug company working the politicians to guarantee profits. Our closer look at infectious disease, trying to prevent an outbreak before it occurs. And a giant day for UPS and UPS workers on Wall Street.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. We learned from the National Transportation Safety Board this afternoon that when Egyptair Flight 990 began its final dive towards the ocean, 11 days ago, it was doing what the controls in the cockpit were telling it to do. In other words, it was a controlled descent, tracked by the flight data recorder in its black box right down to 19,000 feet, just a few seconds before it quit recording information. The chairman of the safety board was very careful to say today this was an incomplete answer to what caused the death of more than 200 people. And ABC's Lisa Stark reports tonight that information revealed has only made what happened to this plane more mysterious.
The badly battered flight data recorder from Egyptair Flight 990 and its magnetic tape have answered some questions, but raised many more. A preliminary reading of the tape shows no indication of a catastrophic mechanical failure, including no indication of the mid-air deployment of a thrust reverser. Investigators say the plane was flying level at 33,000 feet when the first significant event is recorded, the autopilot disconnecting.
About 8 seconds later, the airplane begins what appears to be a controlled descent.
That may indicate someone at the controls as the plane was descending. The controlled descent continued to 19,000 feet. Investigators say there is 5 to 10 seconds more of data on the tape they have yet to analyze. The tape quits recording, no indication why, at about 16,700 feet. The same time the airplane stopped sending out its altitude information. Investigators say the plane did not reach supersonic speed. The safety board is drawing no conclusions yet about what happened to this plane, including whether this could have been an intentional act by a pilot or a terrorist in the cockpit. And data from the recorder ends before the plane's reported climb back up and then final dive into the ocean. So we have no new information about that. With so much unknown, it is more critical than ever to recover the cockpit voice recorder. The search efforts continue 240 feet below the ocean surface with one underwater vehicle, but that is being hampered by bad weather. Peter?
Thanks very much, Lisa Stark. More important than ever to talk to our aviation specialist, John Nance, who's a commercial pilot. He joins us now from Seattle. John, a controlled descent, we talked a little bit about that earlier, and also no communication with air traffic control as they were going down. Help us understand that.
Well, this is very, very difficult to understand. If you have pilots going into a descent, one of the first things they need to do is talk to air traffic control because they are descending through active air lanes, Peter. There could be a 747 right in their face. They should either turn 45 degrees left or right or talk to air traffic control or both. So something, if these fellows were actually making this descent purposefully, then something caused them to be so concentrated on that descent that they didn't make the radio call. The other problem is, why would they go to 24,000 foot per minute rate of descent? This is still very excessive, even if they're under control.
Does this suggest to you that more than ever we need to hear what's on the cockpit voice recorder, that it's crucial?
I think it's absolutely crucial. It may not only be our best chance of understanding what happened, it may actually be our only chance of getting a quick and clean solution as to exactly what caused this descent to begin and everything that followed.
And as far as you're concerned, then, the mystery today did actually get deeper.
It did, as unfortunately is too often the case.
Thank you, John. John Nance, our aviation specialist in Seattle tonight. Now to the other news. We've been following the machinations in Washington about whether the best-selling allergy drug is going to remain as expensive as it is. The company that makes Claritin, Shearing Plow, wants the Senate to pass a bill that would ultimately extend the patent. keeping less expensive generic versions off the market. Good for the company, of course, but maybe not for the consumer. So in Washington, how does a company get what it wants? Here's ABC's Jackie Judd.
The Judiciary Committee, which usually meets here where television cameras are allowed, met in a room in the Capitol instead, where cameras are not allowed. It was meeting to consider a bill to enable Schering-Plough to continue making enormous profits on Claritin without any competition. Before going into the meeting, opponents complained of feeling outgunned by the company's aggressive lobbying campaign.
It's sort of like everybody's rushing out the door and somebody wants to grab the cookie jar on the way by, and Claritin is the cookie jar.
The drug manufacturer has always spent sizable sums to influence Congress, but as the end of its patent has approached, its spending has increased dramatically. Lobbying has doubled to $4 million since 1996. Political contributions jumped too, as the company began to pay more attention to Democrats.
They were told by Republicans that the only way that this bill was going to pass was to get Democrats on board, and not just any Democrat, but liberal Democrats.
A prime example, New Jersey Senator Robert Torricelli of the Judiciary Committee. This year alone, he has received $22,000 in contributions from the company, which is in his home state, and from its employees. Schering-Plough also contributed $50,000 to a campaign committee that Torricelli chairs. Soon after, he became a sponsor of the legislation. Torricelli is usually willing to appear before television cameras, but he refused to be interviewed today. Republicans have not been forgotten. The Judiciary Committee Chairman Orrin Hatch used Schering-Plough's corporate jet 5 times this year for presidential campaign trips. He paid $19,000. Although this breaks no rules, it is far less than what it cost the drug company to operate the plane.
I want to do my job, and I want to run for president too, and I'm going to do whatever I have to do that, as long as I'm obeying the law and living within the rules, and I have.
Opponents on the Judiciary Committee today want to delay an action on the patent legislation, but they know they have just bought themselves some time before this well-financed effort begins again. Jackie Judd, ABC News, Washington.
A little bit of how Washington is working today. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down about 19.5 points to close at 10,597. On the NASDAQ, stocks were up just under 31 points. 2 large banks, Wells Fargo and Bank of America, cutting off access to their automatic teller machines in Santa Monica, California, to people who do not bank with them. Watch for it to happen elsewhere. In this case, they're responding to a new city ordinance which prohibits banks from charging ATM fees to people who are not their customers. Independent bookstores making a modest comeback. For the first time in a decade, the number of independents is up. Independents invariably have a passion for books, but it's been a struggle to compete with the superstores. Now the Pope is on a phone card. The Vatican has struck a deal with a company in Florida to sell prepaid long-distance cards with John Paul's picture on them. Part of the proceeds go to pay for the Vatican's Millennium celebrations. In Bellevue, Washington today, Microsoft founder Bill Gates got a standing ovation from his shareholders at the annual meeting. You actually wouldn't expect otherwise. But even after a judge slammed his company last week for unfair practices, the support Mr. Gates gets from his shareholders is a reminder that Microsoft has created a lot of goodwill everywhere. And in the state of Washington, naturally. Here's ABC's Deborah Wong.
Bill?
The home team got a standing ovation today from the mostly local crowd as Bill Gates once again defended the company from the government's attacks.
No company should accept these kinds of limitations on their ability to innovate. And that's what's at the heart of this case.
And while there were some tough questions about the company's tactics in fighting the Justice Department's lawsuit, the bias here was clear.
I'm not giving up on Microsoft. I think it's been very, very kind to me.
Bill Gates may be demonized elsewhere, but here he's something of a local hero. Not only has his company produced 3 of the world's richest men, but it's also spawned more than 3,000 millionaires and has transformed the region's economy. Mark Luce, a carpenter, bought 8 shares of Microsoft when his son was born.
Invested $300, and it's now worth $80,000.
In fact, $2,000 worth of stock purchased at the company's initial public offering would be worth over $1 million today. All that money and talent from Microsoft has helped build an entire high-tech industry here, from big names like Real Networks to tiny .com startups.
I think people have kind of had enough, and they're frustrated that the government is really spending its resources pursuing a success story.
With the future so uncertain, what is clear is that Microsoft will at least be able to count on the support of this company town. Deborah Wong, ABC News, Seattle.
When we come back, we'll go to another town, the brawl at a high school football game that brought the Reverend Jesse Jackson to town. Today, they're working it out. And tonight, some echoes of a police state. Torture, police torture in Russia.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Brought to you by OnStar.
We never thought we'd use OnStar for snakes.
I just hate snakes.
Yeah, traveling through Arizona, we blew a front tire. It shot off the road, and I looked down at the ground. It is crawling with rattlesnakes.
It was unbelievable.
I pushed the OnStar button. Within seconds, the OnStar advisor pinpointed our location and sent a tow truck.
Called the paramedics.
Yeah, and kept talking because we
hate snakes.
Yeah.
The one-touch connection to people who can help.
OnStar.
Call 1-800-OnStar-7.
6 months ago, I wouldn't have considered doing this. Today, it's a different story.
Introducing PharmaSure Joint Formula. Scientifically formulated with ingredients that help rebuild and renew existing knee and hip cartilage.
99, 100. Phew, we made it.
Grandma, where's Bunny?
Oh, you're kidding.
PharmaSure, inspired by life, created by science. Only at GNC, Rite Aid, and Drugstore.com.
One question aroused fierce passions for centuries. What's for dinner? Until the day a great mediator appeared. The new Maytag Gemini. An amazing 2-in-1 range that allowed them to cook 2 different foods at 2 different temperatures for one complete meal.
Freedom. Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
In Decatur, Illinois today, trying to arrive at a new state of reason. You may remember from yesterday, this is a dispute over 7 students expelled for a brawl during a high school football game. Schools reopened today. The Reverend Jesse Jackson, who'd come to town to support the students, and the school board, well, they're trying to work it out. Here's ABC's Dean Reynolds.
With hundreds of police standing guard this morning, Decatur reopened its high schools for the first time this week. A confrontation with Jesse Jackson never materialized, as Jackson and school officials appeared to move closer to an accommodation, addressing what happened here 2 months ago. The wild, fist-swinging brawl that broke out during a football game. A fight that prompted the mostly white school board to expel 7 black students, 4 of whom were charged yesterday with felonies.
We saw the tape, an ugly school fight, but not as violent as a hockey match or an NBA fight.
But today, Jackson backed away from his demand that the students be immediately reinstated. Suspension for a time and enrollment in an alternative school now sounded okay.
If it's part of a grander scheme to segue them back into the school system, that's acceptable.
Having the incident on tape for all to see clearly undermined Jackson's argument that the punishment was too tough. And new details about those involved hurt his case that their education was a terrible thing to lose. It turns out that several of the students are chronic absentees from class, and 3 of them are taking freshman courses for the 3rd straight year. Still, city officials have indicated their policy of zero tolerance for violence may well be too harsh. Last night, the school board indicated a policy review was in order. And this afternoon, the local prosecutor suggested the criminal charges filed against 4 of the youth just 24 hours ago may now be open to negotiation. Dean Reynolds, ABC News, Decatur, Illinois.
Everybody working hard to be fairer. Let's go overseas now. In the Middle East today, the Israeli army moved in on an illegal settlement in the West Bank and moved the settlers out. The Jews who settled there didn't want to leave, but the government had promised the Palestinian Authority that they would go as part of the interim peace deal. Shortly after that, Israel's cabinet voted to pull its troops out of 5% of the West Bank, another 5%. The international human rights group Human Rights Watch published a report today called Confessions at Any Cost, and it is a catalog of police torture in Russia. It says that more than half of all criminal suspects in Russia are beaten or tortured. It's almost as if the Soviet police state were still in place. In Moscow, ABC's Morton Dean.
Today was Police Day in Russia, but while law enforcement officers were being honored, they were also dishonored. The Human Rights Report accuses the police of systematically beating confessions out of prisoners who have yet to be charged with a crime.
Prolonged beatings over the head, the kidneys, the heels.
And worse, gas masks placed over suspects' faces, the air tubes turned off, suspects' heads dunked in freezing water, electric shocks sent through their bodies. The police, Alexei Mikheyev says, hooked up electric wires to my ears. He is paralyzed for life, injuries suffered in a desperate leap from this police station window. During his torture, he had confessed to raping and killing a missing woman. This woman, who turned up 10 days later, alive and well. An official investigation into this case is underway, but prosecutions of police accused of brutality are very rare. Moscow Judge Sergei Pashin is a rare voice of official concern. He says 80% of those who appear before him complain of police brutality, and many are supported by evidence. The official police view is the beatings are unusual, the result of a poorly trained police force under pressure to produce convictions. But the beatings are a graphic reminder that some things have not changed in the new Russia. Morton Dean, ABC News, Moscow.
In a moment, we're going to revisit the battle against infectious disease, predicting where it might strike next. A closer look tonight.
A lot of people have allergies. I have multi-symptom nasal allergies. It's the sneezing, itchy, runny nose, the nasal congestion. It's all of it. I told my doctor, I've had it. I want an allergy medicine made for my kind of allergies. He prescribed multi-symptom Flonase.
Flonase nasal spray once a day relieves all nasal allergy symptoms all day and night.
All it takes is Flonase.
The #1 prescribed nasal allergy spray. Even kids as young as 4 can use Flonase. For best results, use daily. If side effects occur, they are generally mild and may include headache, nosebleed, or sore throat. Call to learn more. Ask your doctor about multi-symptom Flonase.
When you get it all it takes is Flonase.
Shake, 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 Sonora, shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sonora, shake it all the time. Okay. Dance, 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 Sonora. Mom, did that file open yet?
No. Buy a Gateway PC with the YourWare program and you can trade it in toward the purchase of a new one in 2 years.
Mom!
So you'll never have an old computer. Call 1-800-GATEWAY. Get a Gateway PC with an Intel Pentium 3 processor with a year of AOL included.
All right, kid. Here we go. What do you got? What do you got? What? Yeah. All right, come on, come on.
What would you do if someone you loved had a heart attack? Did you know it's now been proven that the same Bayer aspirin you have in your bag for muscle aches may actually help stop you from dying if you take it during a heart attack?
Downtown. Lucky shot.
Can your pain reliever do that? Talk to your doctor now.
Next time I'll go easier on you.
Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
When we first thought of taking a closer look at infectious diseases, we didn't fully appreciate how much of an issue this was for the Public Health Service. But this week, as we have seen, in a world where there is so much movement of people and product, infectious diseases have an unprecedented opportunity to travel. Tonight, what do you do about it? Especially when a single mosquito may be carrying malaria or dengue or encephalitis or yellow fever, among other infectious diseases. So here again is ABC's Deborah Amos.
The Mosquito Control Unit of Harris County, Texas, was surprised by what they found in a load of used tires from Japan.
The director said, guess what we found? And so I said, what? And he said, Aedes albopictus. I said, you're kidding.
The tiger mosquito.
The tiger mosquito.
No one had ever seen the tiger mosquito in the United States before.
Here we had an infestation that covered, from the way he described it, an entire county.
The discovery set off alarms because this aggressive mosquito could trigger a serious outbreak of disease. Lab studies show it can carry 15 different viruses. So public health officials set up a program to track the tiger mosquito. In this lab in Fort Collins, Colorado, scientists check mosquitoes from around the country for viruses, and they chart the tiger's movements.
Where do the tiger mosquitoes go over the next 10 years?
From the initial location in Houston, it spread eastward and then northward as far as Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio in the last couple of years into West Virginia.
Now, for the first time, the CDC is getting satellite images and maps from the U.S. Geological Survey in Reston, Virginia. It is a better and quicker tracking system that shows geographical conditions where mosquitoes can thrive and where infections can spread. The cooperative effort is currently focused on West Virginia, where a virus for La Crosse encephalitis is carried by local mosquitoes. There are small outbreaks every year. And the tiger mosquito has made it to West Virginia. It has the potential to pick up the La Crosse encephalitis virus and move it on.
Here we have approximately 50 cases of La Crosse encephalitis.
The virus is tracked on this map of Nicholas County, West Virginia. The State Health Department can use this information to warn people about which parts of the county are risky and where the tiger mosquito could pick up the infection.
It's the first time we've been able to even think about doing that kind of risk analysis.
Analysis that could help prevent people from stepping into the path of disease-carrying mosquitoes. Deborah Amos, ABC News, Reston, Virginia.
A closer look. When we come back, the new millionaires in the familiar brown trunks.
It's time for your heartburn to kick in because your heartburn relief gave out. It happens 2 or more days a week, even though you've treated it and changed your diet. That frequent, persistent heartburn may be due to acid reflux disease, potentially serious.
It's Prilosec time. Time to see your doctor about prescription Prilosec. Your results may vary, but for many people, Prilosec provides 24 hours of complete heartburn relief with 1 daily dose. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you.
The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain.
24 hours of complete heartburn relief is possible. It's Prilosec time.
Hello? Server? Got it.
Total participation, and this means everyone, all working to make sure you get the absolute best experience possible.
Mr. Thurber, you're all set.
Introducing 5-Star, a new approach to selling and servicing cars and trucks. And it's better. We'll prove it. Only where you see these signs.
I may look young, but I still suffer from hot flashes. I discovered a natural way to deal with it. New Healthy Woman from the makers of Monistat. Healthy Woman's a soy menopause supplement that helps relieve hot flashes in a natural way. New Healthy Woman.
Professor, behold my newest discovery.
I believe that's already been invented.
Well, I've discovered a way to get all long-distance calls for only 99 cents.
Impossible.
It's true. Dial 10-10-220 and talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents.
And if you talk longer?
It's just 9 cents a minute after that.
What about fees or contracts?
They don't exist. It's flawless.
It's your best work yet.
I know.
Discover 10-10-220.
Choosing a cranberry juice is confusing.
Premium cocktail, 27% juice, corn syrup. Avoid the confusion. Trust Northland to always be 100% juice.
Northland is pure genius.
Northland, always 100% juice.
One of life's most joyful moments can also be one of its most painful. But take comfort in Tylenol, the pain reliever doctors and hospitals choose most.
Come meet your little brother.
Hello. Tylenol, take comfort in our strength.
millions of people are living fuller lives. Free to go and do whatever they please, whenever they please. All because of the extra protection they get from Depend. Leading store brands are 50% more likely to leak than Depend. So get Depend and get all the confidence you need to live life to the fullest.
Get all you want out of life with Depend.
Tonight, a television star is found hanged in his hotel room. What could have caused his downward spiral and suicide? Diane Sawyer speaks with his friends and family, including Suddenly Susan star Brooke Shields on 2020 Tonight.
Coming up next, it's a flooded emotion from victims after Kip Kinkle is sentenced to more than 100 years in prison. We'll take you live to the courthouse. And some Washington State drivers can't wait for lower car tabs, so they're cutting costs themselves. Is it legal? I'm Kathy Marshall. Local News is next.
Finally this evening, it was a very big day on Wall Street for a very familiar company. 92 years after it was founded, United Parcel has gone public. There was tremendous anticipation about it. UPS is an enormously successful company. It delivers more than 12 million packages and documents a day, which adds up to more than $3 billion a year. Today, the stock was moving very quickly, even at $67 a share, which was 34% above the initial offering price, which means that at UPS today, a lot of employees are a lot better off. Here's ABC's Jim Williams.
UPS delivery. Today, what UPS workers delivered was good news about their sudden wealth.
I got 1,000 shares. Is this like winning the lottery? Are you about to get rich? Yes, sir. I'm going to get rich.
People are excited. They've had their calculators out all week. They've been doing all the calculations as far as exactly what they will be making.
Thousands of current and former UPS employees now know that on paper they are millionaires. And analysts say, unlike many new issues, UPS will hold its value.
Most IPOs today are a bet on the future. The UPS deal is a bet on a fundamental, solid company that made $2 billion last year.
UPS was founded in 1907, and since the beginning, it has awarded stock to its managers. In the last 4 years, all employees have been able to acquire the shares. It has proven to be a wise investment. Craig Myrie knows the stock's value. He began as a driver in 1981. After moving into management, Myrie acquired thousands of shares. 4 months ago, once he knew the IPO was coming, he was able to retire at age 41.
You know, to go to bed and not worry about waking up saying, oh, man, I got to get up and go to work in the morning. You know, I work, but it's my work.
Myrie has his own computer business. Next month, he will move from his basement.
I'll be doing some training and some assembly here.
To a refurbished warehouse.
We want to be millionaires, and we'll be pretty darn close.
A position shared by thousands of others at today's closing bell. Jim Williams, ABC News, Chicago.
As we said, someday. That's our report on World News Tonight 2020. Later on Nightline, why most women who get out of prison go back. I'm Peter Jennings. Good night.
From ABC News, tomorrow on Good Morning America, the search for a battleship lost in the South Pacific. Now 4 veterans come face to face with their past. The remarkable journey to find the USS Yorktown. And on World News Tonight, are your property taxes making some big developer richer while your child's education suffers? Watch World News Tonight. This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC's World